Hi, how are you doing, Fabia?
I'm good, thank you. I'm preparing the food soak. I didn't know if you had the food soak
Oh,
session
yeah.
or not. So yeah, I'm making it
Yeah.
now.
This
Yeah,
this session will always, I mean, we always do food soak in this session, so you can get it
good.
ready
Yeah.
beforehand. Yeah. There is
Thank
no
you.
getting out of the food soak.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, so everyone, I hope the food soaks are ready. If you are here for the first time, let us know. Because then we'll just explain a little bit more. Otherwise, we'll skip a few steps because everyone's familiar with them already. But also, if you have some questions, this is also a good time before we meditate, because usually after meditation, our heads cleared out and we can enjoy silence the whole day. So if you have some questions or want to share some experiences, please unmute, let me know. Anyone? And I guess also nobody's joining for the first time, right? You've all been.
We received a message from Nancy that she is joining first time.
Oh, so okay, all right, perfect. So I'll know to make sure that to explain everything. So first thing I'll explain is the foot soak. Nancy, if you don't have it today, or anyone else who's not been here before, Rahul, can you get us the image of the foot soak? So, okay, so this is the foot soak. We use a bucket for water, big enough for us to place feet inside. The water that we fill in should be either, usually it's best at the beginning to be lukewarm. Then later on, when you feel more correctly whether you have heavier right side or left side, we can adjust the temperature. But so if you feel very heavy right side, you can do cooler foot soak to cool down the right side. And if you feel a very hot left side, so heavy or hot left hand, then you can do warmer foot soak. This is it. But at the beginnings, because usually we don't feel so much, so precise, it will work great if we use lukewarm water, just that it's pleasant enough to keep our feet in. We also put like a fistful of salt. So you will see in Saja Yoga, we do meditate, taking help from the elements. And in the foot soak, we use two elements. One is water and the other one is earth. Salt is the aspect of the earth element that we put in the water, and that helps us clear our chakras, our first, second, third chakra, the whole, actually the whole, all the channels, the whole subtle system. So foot soak is a very effective way to really have a fast result in allowing all these problems of our chakras to leave us. So yeah, and at the end, we have like a small pitcher. You see here at the side, just like a small pitcher I have here of water that we rinse our feet afterwards, and then you can just dry it with a towel. So what you need when you do foot soak is water with salt in a bucket, some water at the side to rinse your feet, and a towel. So because when we'll be done foot soaking here, our meditation is divided in two parts. First part is more of a clearing with foot soak. Then the second part of our meditation is when we watch a video of Sri Mataji. Sri Mataji is, as you know, the founder, the teacher of Saja Yoga. She gave numerous speeches, so we always try to bring at least 10 minutes of her speech, of one of her speeches, into this Sunday meditation. So you get first hand knowledge of certain things, and you can hear how she talked. And after that, we have a silent meditation to enjoy, to experience this silence. Now, today's topic is the silence within, and we'll talk about the fifth chakra. Also, for all of those who haven't been joining a lot or haven't been coming many times since, like you've only joined a few times, you won't maybe know, but we always try to cover certain aspects of this subtle system that we see here shared on the screen. And today we'll talk about the fifth chakra, so this chakra here in the throat, and how it is connected to this silence within. Now, this chakra here, the fifth chakra, is, as you can see, takes care of our communication. And it also takes care of our collectivity, if we call it like that, of how our collectivity is. Are we a collective person? Do we, or are we isolated? And you'll understand that. So how we relate to ourselves and others. Now, on the left-hand side, when we do affirmations, and you already know, all of you, that when we meditate, we usually place our hand on a chakra and then we say an affirmation or we repeat it silently within ourselves. So here the affirmation is, I'm not guilty. Here on the left Vishuddhi, we say, I'm not guilty. And also we say, I am the spirit, so how can I be guilty? And this, what it means is that, first of all, when we do mistakes, we usually do not face them. We don't allow ourselves to see that this is actually something we would do better not to be doing. And we kind of ignore that. But for that, we also feel guilty. It's like a very strange cycle of how we think and function. And what actually makes us act this way, it's our ego. Our ego doesn't like, so our ego here above the fifth left chakra, you see the yellow balloon on the screen. This is our ego. It's here on the left side of the head. And our ego doesn't like us to face ourselves or to ever think that we can do something wrong, right? Ego likes always to have some kind of confirmation of our greatness, always likes to feel superior to other people. It's a very strange institution we usually have, and produces these kind of thoughts. So first of all, these thoughts of ego would not allow us to reach this silence within. And plus it presses down on our left Vishuddhi, and which then in turn doesn't allow us to see our own mistakes and correct them and stop this vicious cycle of continuing with mistakes or things that are actually hurting us or others. But in result, they hurt us, because once we feel guilty, that actually means we feel bad about ourselves. We feel useless, and our communication to ourselves is something it's not good, it's not positive. We're feeling negative about ourselves, and this in turn affects the entire left side. So the entire left side will be harmed, and this left side is the side when it's damaged too much. We start feeling depressed, really down, lethargic, and it's really hard to get out of that. Now, to explain a little bit of the right Vishuddhi on the other side. So on the right side, on the yellow line, the right channel, right Vishuddhi, this is basically a center that takes care of our communication with other people. Now here we say, when we put our hand here, we say, Mother Kundalini, truly you are the sweet expression of my words and deeds. So this is very nicely put. It means that we want to express this loving energy of our Kundalini, that she is the sweetness in us, and she is this sweet communication with other people. So this is not the sweetness of a salesperson that want to sell us something, or someone that wants us to convince something about whatever is their interest. This is a genuine sweetness and expression of love in our communication. And this is, again, something that can be harmed by our ego, because when our ego is great, it will press down. So our right side comes up to our Vishuddhi, and then it crosses over around our Agya chakra, so the sixth chakra, and then presses on our ego, on our Agya chakra. But it doesn't press only on the Agya; it can also press back on the right Vishuddhi as well as on the left. And the same is the case also with the superego on the other side. So the ego, of course, when we think we are greater than other people, usually our communication is not genuinely sweet and loving. And then also when we are very conditioned or superstitious, or we think in this kind of way that certain things are right and certain things are not right, or we are very scared people, also this kind of situation, beautiful communication cannot be expressed. And then the connection, this is how this Agya and ego and superego are connected to the fifth chakra, because this ego and superego actually are the end of the left and right channel, and here they go from Vishuddhi up, they develop. So our communication cannot be good. And here in the central Vishuddhi, what we say is, Mother Kundalini, please make me a detached witness. And also we ask to become part and parcel of the whole. Now, to become part and parcel of the whole is to feel this connection and this all-pervading power in us, in everyone and everywhere. And this is basically when we become the spirit. But to be a detached witness, it's also something that's here, the quality that comes from this fifth chakra. And this is basically to be able to experience life, to see everything around us without the reaction of our ego and superego. What this means is basically that when we look at things, when we live our life in a society or in a certain space or within certain activities or events, we have the power not to react, so not to think, not to react with our mind, not to think. So not to, like, if there's something horrible, we don't react either in a fearful way of superego, or if someone's praising us, our ego doesn't just bloat. We can still be in kind of control, or like within normal limits of our existence. So this is, how this chakra will actually be helped when ego and superego are toned down, and our Agya chakra, or sixth chakra, has the power to keep them in check. The other center that also has this power is the heart. So when we, rather than experience life through our thoughts of ego and superego, which we learn how to identify slowly, we can actually experience our life through our heart, the connection with other people through our heart. And this is when our heart is really large and open, and we are not scared or frightful of everything, then we will be able to express that. So an open heart, a loving heart, a compassionate heart will, of course, then only be able to express these emotions out. So this is how all these three chakras are very connected. And today also in the talk, Shimataji explains more about each of these chakras and about certain aspects of them that I didn't cover here. And we'll also have a meditation focusing in the second part on the heart, on Vishuddhi, and on Agya, so on the fourth, fifth, and the sixth chakra. Okay, so this is a short, something shortly said about this fifth chakra. There's a lot more, and slowly we'll learn and through experience understand how this chakra actually works. Now, hopefully everyone's foot soaks are ready and you are seated comfortably in front of the foot soak. And there is one last thing that I need to explain, and that's how we raise our Kundalini, as you see on the screen, and how we do Bandhan. It's very simple, and if you don't get all the moves right now, don't worry. We can send you a short video that explains this slowly so you can watch at home and learn about that. Now, this raising of Kundalini is something we do before and at the beginning and at the end of every meditation. So what we do when we raise Kundalini, we take our left hand and we start at the hip level. So here at the hip, and we just go along in front of our central channel. We just raise our left hand up until it comes above our head. The right hand, the active hand, will be in turn circling around the left hand. So it starts from the bottom of the hand, goes towards ourselves, and then above. So that's the direction of coiling up. And so we can try. We do the first one. We raise the left hand and spin the right hand around. We reach above the seventh chakra, and then we do this kind of a knot, as if we do an invisible knot once. Now the second time we do the same. We bring both our hands above our head, and then we do 2 knots. Here we do 2 knots. And then we bring our hands back down. And the third time, so we do this 3 times, the third time, the last time, as we bring our hands up, we do 3 knots. So we can do 3 knots above our head. And then we bring again our hands down. And this is how we raise Kundalini before every meditation. Now, the second thing that we do is we do 7 bandhans. So a horseshoe shape movement with our hand like this. We go over, so from the left hip to the right hip, like this. And we do this 7 times, once for each chakra. So we do it for the first, then we do it for the second, and we can close our eyes and keep our attention, like allow our attention to follow all these chakras. So the third, now the fourth, then the fifth, then Agya chakra, the sixth in the head, and then above the head, the top chakra on top of the head, Sahasrara. And we can then bring our hands together and slightly from our heart bow to this energy for awakening and also for protecting us, because that's what we just did. We awakened the energy, Kundalini, this motherly energy, and we used this awakened power within us to give ourselves protection, the subtle protection for all our chakras. Now, foot soaks are ready. Let's put our feet into the foot soak. Just sit as straight as you can, very comfortably, so there's no pain in your body if possible. And let's take the right hand and let's bring it up 3 times up to the top of the head. Just up to the top of the head, and we can press here on top of the head. So just allow your attention again to come up to the top of the head. Through all the chakras and then to the top. Bring your hand back down to your lap. The palms are always facing up towards the sky. Now let's take a deep breath in. And relax when we breathe out the muscles on your head, on our hands, the arms, the neck, shoulders. We'll start by taking our right hand and placing it towards the ground. So place the right hand towards the ground, point it towards the ground. This is how we'll balance the left side. We'll allow all the problems of our left side to simply leave us. We'll ask Mother Earth, please absorb all the problems of my left side. Mother Earth, please remove all difficulties, all lethargy, laziness, and fear from past experiences. Remove all that from me. And please warm up my left side with your warmth. Now let's bring our right hand back to the lap and we'll lift the left hand into the sky, like towards the sky, with the palms facing backwards. And here we'll ask Mother Kundalini, please remove the heat of my right side into the ether element. Mother Kundalini, please remove all the heat of my right side into the ether. And Mother Kundalini, please remove all my worries and plans connected to the future, all my futuristic attitudes, everything that prevents me from enjoying the present. Remove all that into the ether. And now we'll take both our hands and point them towards the ground, towards the Mother Earth. Here we'll ask Mother Earth, please purify my first chakra and put me into balance. Mother Earth, please absorb all problems from my first chakra and please put me into balance. Mother, please awaken in me the qualities of innocence and wisdom and spontaneity. Now we'll bring both hands back on our lap. Allow them to rest on your legs. The palms are still facing upwards. And let's have for a few moments our attention on our palms, on how we feel on our hands. What are the vibrations like? Do we feel cold or hot, tingling? Now we'll do a little longer meditation to clear our chakras. And I will be checking this collective state of our chakras. What are the major catches in our collective now? And we'll work on them. So we'll start first with the third chakra on the left side. So first we'll bring our hand, the right hand, to the tummy on the left side. So the left side of the abdomen. Let's bring our right hand there. And here we can ask Mother Kundalini, please come into my third chakra and clear it. Remove all the problems of my third chakra. Mother, by your grace, I am truly peaceful. No matter what's going on around me, I feel the inner peace. Then we'll also recognize another quality here. Mother, by your grace, I'm truly satisfied. No matter what happens in my life, I feel satisfied from within. And now I'll also say, I am generous. I'm a truly generous person. And we'll now swap hands and we'll take the left hand and place it on the right side of the abdomen. So on the third chakra, on the right side, we'll work with our left hand, keeping our attention here. We'll ask Mother Kundalini, please purify and enlighten my third chakra, my right third chakra, my right nabi. Mother Kundalini, you take care of me. You take care of all my financial and family problems. And on this same spot, we'll also ask, Mother, please purify my liver. Liver is an organ that really helps us establish good attention. Mother, purify my liver and purify my attention. Now again, we'll swap our hands and take the right hand and place it on the heart, on the left heart chakra. Here, this chakra opens or restores its qualities, its potential when we recognize that we are not this ego, the superego, so the thinking, that we are not also the roles we play in life or the success we have or the troubles we have, that we are none of these things, that we are the spirit, the eternally pure awareness and joy. Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am the spirit. I am the spirit. And now let's take the right hand, place it here at the back of the head, on the back agya, as we call it, sixth chakra at the back. Here, this is actually the first chakra in the area of our head, so the innocence inside the area of the brain, the head, the thoughts. And here we'll ask Mother Kundalini, please forgive me if I've ever done anything against my spirit, against my Kundalini. Please forgive me. And that we do without feeling any guilt, without feeling bad or specifically thinking about anything. This is something we haven't understood ever before, what our spirit is and how might we harm it. So without feeling anything or analyzing anything, let's just ask from our heart, Mother, please forgive me. Mother, please forgive me. Now we'll bring our right hand to the top of the head. Slowly massage clockwise, but strongly, so the skin moves here under our hand. Clockwise, we do circular movements, and we can ask Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. Let me have this knowledge of myself. And Mother Kundalini, please strengthen my connection to the all-pervading power that nourishes me and gives me this endless feeling of joy. And we can check above the head, can go maybe 12 inches or more or less, slowly finding above the head where we feel the cool breeze coming out of our head. Just keep your attention there above. Keep your hand there. The vibrations might even start becoming stronger. Now we will do the same thing with the left hand. Again, feel these vibrations that are emitting from our subtle system above our head. And keep your attention up there. And also keep your attention on your hands. See how you feel. And let's just for a few minutes before we finish our foot soak, try to allow our Kundalini to work through our subtle system, clear our chakras, while we allow our thoughts to go down, to subside. They come, just don't allow them to pull you in. Tell them not now. Now we can open our eyes and rinse our feet. So rinse your feet with water, rinse the salt away, and then just place your foot soak bowl somewhere at the side. We'll pour the water away later so your attention does not get distracted. And now we'll watch these about 10 minutes of Shrimataji's talk on heart, Vishuddhi, and Agya chakra. And for that, please try to sit as if you are in meditation. So with the same kind of attitude, keep your attention on top of the head, on your hands, and just try to enjoy the talk that Rahul will bring in soon. Try to continue in this meditative state.
Or Sahaja Yoga. Because Sahaja means, Saha means with and Ja means born. Sahaja means spontaneous yoga. Yoga means union with the divine. Also yoga means deftness, expertise. That you have to have expertise. How to use, how to maneuver the energy when you become realized, the divine energy. You must know the laws of divine energy, how it acts, how it works out. If you can know that, then what will happen? That your gradual understanding of the subject will become deeper and deeper, and you will be amazed that you will think that the whole knowledge is within your head. It is within you. You don't have to go anywhere. But first of all, you must be connected. As I told you yesterday, that every instrument must be connected to the mains. Unless and until it is connected, you can't even know whether it is faulty or not. Once it is connected, then you can find out whether it is faulty, or what is the purpose of this, or what is the value of this. Otherwise, any instrument which is not connected has no fulfillment. So to find out our own fulfillment, we have to be connected to the all-pervading power, which is the living power, about which I have told. Now this power exists, as you have seen, as I told you, the flowers become the fruits. It's a fact. There's no doubt about it. How they become? Spontaneous. You say, how a seed sprouts? Spontaneously. You just take the seed, put it in the Mother Earth, it sprouts. Because the Mother Earth has the capacity to sprout a seed. It's the capacity of the Mother Earth that does the job. So that to say that we have done this is wrong, or you can do it is wrong. It is all in the seed, the whole map of its manifestation, and what you get is the spontaneous happening of the sprouting and then aftergrowth. In the same way, it happens to you. Now the higher chakra than that is the chakra of heart. Now this heart has got two sides, as we have put it, which is one of the mother and another of the father. Now the kind of a family you come from is very important. If you come from a disturbed family, then this center can be very disturbed. And where one person, say, is having insecurity. If you go deep down into the insecurity of the person, you find out there's something wrong with the parents, or something like that. Or maybe that his grandparents have done something to the child, that the child is insecure. It could be sometimes far-fetched, but most of the time, if you find out, it is the parental help is very much needed for a child. And that is what we do not understand, the importance that we must get the parents to understand that their responsibility is very great towards their children. When this center goes out, among women especially, it goes out very commonly. Very commonly it goes out in women. And when it goes out, they become extremely insecure. And as a result of that, in the growth, you find they develop breast cancer and cancers of this kind. Because they are very vulnerable, and with the slightest triggering, they develop these diseases. So if one can steady this center properly and give the security to the mother of the children, then this center can be completely cured, and you can have the complete benefit of having, as if you have had a very good parenthood. The higher than that R is the center, which is the most important center, is called as the Vishuddhi center. This center is the one when we lifted our head up and we started thinking that we are something, we are human beings. We are no more animals, we are higher. At that time when we lifted the head, what happened? That the whole system of the brain changed and the flat brain started becoming like a prism. As a result of that, our attention has gone outside. And when our attention goes out, say my attention is on a particular thing, then what happens that a thought wave starts coming out of that. I start thinking about it. And when I start thinking about it, a certain type of a balloon grows within us, which we call as ego. So when we go into a mental activity, an ego starts developing within us. Now this ego is such a thing that you can't see. You can't feel it. Those people who have ego do not know they have ego. Actually, it has to be there. Because first we had only one side, the superego, the conditioning, complete conditioning in the whole of the brain. And then the ego has to develop to bring it to the center like this. But if it is in balance with the superego, with your conditioning, then it is perfectly all right. But if it is too much pressing that side, then it forms a barrier. Like the other day, there was a gentleman from the newspaper he came to me and he could not get his realization. And he said, why is it I am not getting it? I said, I know what the problem is, but I don't want to tell you, because if I told him you have ego, he would have hit me back. So you can't tell a person also that you have got ego. So this ego develops as a result of overactivity of mental projection. Like, I am doing it, what's wrong in it, why should I not do it, I am alone, I should do it. And the result of that, you know that today the society is gone into a very wrong type of development. People don't know how far you stand with another. There is no relationship between two persons. One cannot have the collectivity. One cannot know today the person is as a husband or a wife, tomorrow what is going to happen. Where do we stand with each other? We are absolutely on a shaky grounds because of this Mr. Ego. It has created a big barrier between ourselves and others. So we develop an I-ness, a kind of an egg-like existence, which is like a shell. It is like a thick shell upon us like an egg, and that's why the higher chakra, which is the chakra of Agya, which is the Agya chakra, which is, you can see here the mark is, behind that is that Agya chakra which develops. Now this center is the one that controls both ego and superego and tries to control it all the time. If you become too much egoistical, then this Agya doesn't allow you to sleep. You cannot sleep. It goes on working all the time. Then you take to some drinks or something, bring out your superego by which you push it down. So the whole thing is balanced, and again you can go off to sleep. But it is just a temporary thing. Tomorrow, then when you get up, there's a hangover, again your superego goes down, again Mr. Ego is back as it is, and you again behave in the same manner as you have been behaving. Then again in the evening you come back home, you feel absolutely frustrated with yourself, and then you want to go down again and bring the superego to work out, and you take something sedative to sleep out. Like that, the things go on. So the ego also generates a necessity for getting into habits which are antibody, which are anti our life, anti our, anti-God, I should say, anti our ascent. And that's what happens to us when we become very much ego-oriented. Now the ego-oriented people do not know that they harm others. But the superego people are all the time feeling the pain, they are very unhappy people, they always cry, they weep, and they are absolutely melancholy people. But the people who are egoistical, they try to oppress these people. And they try to oppress the whole surroundings that is there. Like Hitler was. Hitler was the one who created ego into everyone and made them think that they are some superior race. And that superior race tried to oppress other people, and that's how the ego-oriented people tried to dominate and thought that they were doing all right things. And with that idea, they really created such a problem that they could kill thousands and thousands of people. Thousands and thousands, I should say, I don't know how many, millions were killed altogether. But I was shocked when I went that it is just like a cemetery. Even if you go to Russia, I've been to Russia, Russia is also another cemetery. Anywhere you go, you find so many thousands were killed here and buried. If you go to France, there's so many were buried here. I went to a place called Milos and they showed me a huge mountain there. Just like a mountain, they said all underneath are all the dead bodies are buried. So imagine with ego what we can do, how we can be really be so much cruel with others. This is what happens to us. So to realize that we live with ego, we are carried away by ego, it is the ego that guides us. It's such a dangerous thing. It's a very cunning stuff also, because it will teach you how to be nice to others, how to be kind to others. If you are a businessman, the same ego will make you extremely modest and nice. If you are this, it will be like this. If you are a politician, it will give you another picture. But this ego never keeps you to yourself. And to know yourself, you have to somehow or other manage to get rid of the ego. Now, how do you get rid of the ego? If you start fighting with it, it sits on your head. Now, if you just run away from it, it runs after. How to get rid of the ego is the problem, and that's why this center is very important. This center has got only two petals. One side it manages the superego, another side it manages the ego.
So let's now place the right hand to our heart, the central heart. And here we'll ask again, Mother Kundalini, please come into my heart. Open my heart, make it large. Remove all fear and insecurities. And make it truly a large, loving, compassionate heart. Mother, please come into my heart. We can also take a few very deep breaths in. So breathe in, feel your heart chakra, fill it in with air, the lungs, the upper lungs, and then exhale through the mouth. Again, very slowly fill it in, breathe in, and breathe out. And again, we can ask, Mother, please come into my heart. Air element is the element of the heart chakra, and it helps us clear this chakra, clear out all insecurities and all fear. Now we'll bring our hand to Vishuddhi, to the fifth chakra. And let's first bring it to the left Vishuddhi. Here where we say, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. I am the spirit. So how can I be guilty? I am not guilty. Then let's swap the hands. Let's bring the right hand to the left hand to the right Vishuddhi. And here we can say, Mother Kundalini, you really are the expression, the sweet expression of my words and my deeds. And then we'll change our hands and bring the right hand to the central Vishuddhi. Here, the fifth chakra in the center of the neck. And here the affirmation is, or we can ask, Mother Kundalini, please make me a detached witness. Please make me a detached witness so I can observe everything without the reaction of my ego or my superego. Mother, please make me a detached witness. Mother, please make me a collective person. Let me feel that I am the part and parcel of the whole. Now we'll bring the right hand to the forehead. And we can allow our head to rest on the hand, leaning slightly forward. Here, wrapping up the forehead. Let's say, I forgive. I forgive myself and I forgive everyone else, to open this sixth chakra, which can actually control the ego and superego in us. Mother, I forgive. I forgive myself and everyone else. Can bring our hand back to the lap. We can chant these very short seed mantras to strengthen the two petals of Agya chakra, which control the ego and superego. And for the petal that controls the superego, can use the mantra Ham, H-A-M, Ham, and for ego, Ksham, Kham. So Ksham. We can chant loudly together. Om Ham Ksham. 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 And we can press on top of the head if we lost the tension from here. If not, we can feel it clearly. We can just keep our attention here on top of the head and on our hands. And again, let's experience the silence. The silence of our mind. If thoughts come, again, just watch them. Don't let them take over. And we can open our eyes again, but if you wish to continue with a longer meditation, please feel free to leave and stay in meditation. But if you feel like you would like to wrap up, then let's raise our kundalinis together and put ourselves into bandhan. So we raise our kundalini. We do first time 1 knot. Then we do 2 knots. And then 3 knots. And then we do 7 bandhans, 7 horseshoe-shaped moves for each chakra one. And again, we can bring our hands together in feeling of gratitude to our Kundalini, who brings us into these beautiful realms of meditation. And also to Shri Mataji, we can express in our heart if we feel the gratitude for bringing about this method of Saja Yoga, which actually has this unique way of bringing us into deep meditation and experience our own chakras, get to know our chakras, feel them even on our hands, and also help ourselves get things right. So this is it for today, but if you have some questions, unmute, show yourself.
Thank you, Nika. Awesome, awesome, beautiful. Thank you, Rahul. God bless everyone.
You too. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Nika.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
was very beautiful and nice. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you all
It
enjoyed
was.
it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Bye.
So if you have some questions, we are here. I know sometimes it's easier to do it in the beginning of the meditation, but if you have some now or want to share some experiences, please do. It's a good time. Anyone?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've been doing Sahaja Yoga and especially foot soaking about almost 2 months now, every day. Definitely making changes in my life. It's give me calm and also inner peace, and also some physical changes, which is as I get into more meditation, my spine goes straight. I feel that. But I yet to really feel that cool breeze.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really acknowledged how it feels. So
Okay.
I don't know what kind of sensation it is, but sometimes kind of, oh, maybe this, but I cannot say this is it.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Yeah. And you said you've been doing it for 2 months, right?
Yes.
Meditating. Yeah. This is actually, all right. So this can be multiple reasons for this kind of a situation. But the main thing is that what I would say, it's like focus that you experienced it, that you can feel. I know what you're talking about when you get in deep meditation and then your spine and your body just kind of spontaneously, right, gets straight up and fixes into a better position. So this is really nice, and that you feel the inner peace. And this is basically, this is what we want to have, right? Because the feeling, but the feeling on your hands, of course, it's really good to have. And it could be because of multiple reasons. Most commonly, it's because of the 5th chakra. And sometimes, it takes a little longer for things to clear out, to become sensitive more, because 2 months, I mean, especially I'm so happy to hear that you are doing foot soaks every day and all that. But sometimes 2 months is also not so long, right? But if you want, when you're doing foot soak, there is one technique that you can do exactly the same thing also for hands, like a hand soak with salt. It can also help this chakra, and it can bring this sensitivity of vibrations stronger. And yeah, sometimes people also can massage with olive oil the hands. This can also make our hands more sensitive to vibrations. But now I have a question. Do you feel vibrations like catches, like if it's heavy or tingling or pleasant on your hands, but not?
Sometimes I feel tinglings. Yes.
Well, but the cool breeze you don't feel, right? Like you don't feel the cool from here. What about above your head? Like it will be higher up though, it will be higher up. Kundalini will be like here both pictures don't show, but sometimes mostly you will feel, I see people feel it something like that, like above. And now we're also chatting, so the experience won't be as strong as during meditation, but what you can do when you practice, you can also go a little higher up, okay, than you did before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. You feel a little bit? Okay, all right. And the other chakra that really helps with feeling cool vibrations is the 1st chakra. So now the good weather is coming. So there's one thing you can do if you have time. You can more often like sit on the ground, on Mother Earth, and place your hands also to the ground and just try to get into this thoughtless state. You can, like if you are outside, you can also just bring your attention to top of the head. And like, if you don't want to raise Kundalini, if there's lots of people and you feel shy, that's okay. You can just raise your Kundalini on top of your head. Even in your imagination, you can make bandhan around yourself and then place your hands on Mother Earth, sit on Mother Earth if you can. And just ask her, Mother Earth, please absorb all problems of my 1st chakra and make my 1st chakra stronger. Because these cool vibrations sometimes are connected also to that. And the strongest the 1st chakra is, the cooler we may feel from the hands on top. But it depends, and you'll see with yourself what will make your chakras, your hands more sensible to feeling cool. All right, experiment a little bit. Now you have 2 options, right? Like hand soaks to clear this Vishuddhi chakra. You can also massage this chakra while like bringing yourself into this meditative state. When vibrations are flowing, you can also massage it with some olive oil or coconut oil or any kind of oils. Good, nice oils will help. All right. So yeah, I hope this will help you, and let us know later on also. I mean, try a little bit and then see if this changes anything. All right.
Now, just last question about the hand soak. So, do you meditate during the hand soak, or how do you do that hand soak? I mean, just
you can use the same, just the way you put feet in your bowl. Instead of putting feet in your bowl, you can just put your bowl on your lap and then put the hands. But you do it in the same way, basically, when you meditate. That's, when this energy is flowing, that's how you can try, see. But let's say if you're outside, if you can go to the ocean or to the river or to the lake, it's easy, right? You just place your hands inside the water. So that's these elements, they help us clear this. And the longer you will practice such a yoga and, you know, give this kind of time that you are giving now, you know, when you're doing foot soaks nicely every day, the progress will be really fast and you will clear these things. But it's always like this, you know, some things that we have will take a little longer to clear and some will clear, like you won't even notice. You'll just realize that you're not doing certain things anymore, or you don't have some problems anymore that you had before, you know. So it depends on these things. But yeah, hand soak, just the same as foot soak. If you want to do it at home, you can also try and do it in the nature. Will also work.
Thank you very much. I had a great session today.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for the question. Yeah, anyone else? Rahul, do we have something else to cover?